Good morning, Fort McMurray, Wood Buffalo, and the rest of the world. You are tuning in to the Mac City Morning Show. I am your host, Elliot Pierre, and we're going to start this show off the same way we start everyone off, with a moment of gratitude. I want to thank everybody at home for taking the time to tune in and watch. It means the world to me because I know you could be doing so many other things with your time. So thank you, thank you, thank you. And on that note, Tanner, hit him with the intro.
How's she cutting, me loves? You're listening to the Mac City Morning Show.
All right, now we have my favorite type of guest here today, a gentleman that I know nothing about. It's my favorite when I know nothing about the guest. So with that, we're going to get started. I do not introduce my guest, and I couldn't even if I wanted to today. So on that note, sir, can you please introduce yourself and tell the people at home who you are and what you're about?
Yes, my name is Louay Maghrby. I'm the owner of Glory Contracting Ltd. What we do general contracting, and we do appliances install. We do gym equipment assembly, furniture assembly. We have also contracted maintenance with a lot of stores in town, and it's more like if you need anything, you give us a call.
Yeah, you're
and
the guy.
we can find somewhere to do it. Somehow to do it.
Okay,
Yeah.
very cool. What you just said that rings a bell in my head right away is gym equipment. So gym equipment is really heavy, really cumbersome to move, really cumbersome to put back together. So how did you get into that one, and like what's the process to that?
Well, we started first doing the assembly for the equipment, and once you get a hand on the equipment and know how much it weighs, then slowly we took over a contract also delivering and assemble the equipment. Deliver the gym equipment is very sensitive because you have to be careful in every aspect how you move it so you don't create any damage for the customers.
That's right.
And then since we are the only one who does the assembly in town here, so it was beneficial for us to do the delivery and the assembly after that.
Okay. So if I have some gym equipment that I want to move from my primary residence to this location, you guys are the company to call.
We are the one to call.
Okay, very cool.
We make it easy for you, headache free.
That's awesome. So now how long have you been in operations in Fort McMurray?
I moved to Fort McMurray in 2004.
Oh, wow.
And I started officially my business in 2006. I was doing small jobs here and there, just trying to see how the community here works and what kind of business here. And I was doing a lot of work. And honestly, what delayed me to 2006, I did not have time even start to properly
Right.
my company name outside. And then after that, I said, that's it. I have to set up a time, and I set up a time. I started my company, and it took off.
That's awesome. Right time, right place.
Yes,
Because that's when Fort McMurray in like 2004, things were just like
that's right.
skyrocketing up.
And you'll be surprising. When I started, actually, I started doing the line painting because Fort McMurray had no vendor doing the line painting for the parking stalls.
Oh,
So that's how I started, actually.
okay.
So I took over. I looked and I said, "There's no company that we used to bring somebody from Vancouver or Edmonton to do the work here."
Right.
So I went and bought the equipment, and we did all the training that required for it.
Yeah.
And then I start getting the contracts to do that.
Very neat. Okay, look at that. You're very industrious, obviously.
Yes.
That's awesome. Okay, so you moved here in 2004. Where did you move from?
I lived in Ontario for 6 years.
Okay.
And 6 years in Ontario, I finished my studying. I have a diploma in civil engineering.
Okay.
And so that's what I did. I did study over there. I have from back home, I have an architecture degree. I studied civil engineering diploma or technology in Ontario, in Hamilton.
Right.
And then I moved here in 2004. The purpose was for my move. I had an uncle here, so I came to visit him, and I saw a lot of opportunity here, and I said, you know what, this is the right place to be.
That's right.
So I moved.
Okay. Now you said back home. Where are you from originally?
Syria.
Syria. Oh,
Yes.
wow. Okay. And so what year did you leave Syria?
1998.
1998. Okay. And
1998, I left Syria. I arrived Canada in November 7, 1998.
okay,
And it
very
was a
cool.
Sunday.
And it was a Sunday. There you go. Do you remember Sunday? Was it winter, fall, spring?
To be honest, that year that I arrived, I was in Burlington. The first time it snowed,
Yeah,
it was January, first week of January.
right.
So we had a 20-degree temperature in December.
That's right.
And they told me this has never happened in Burlington. But when it snowed, it snowed.
Yeah. And how was that adjustment for you?
You know, coming from Syria, there's not much snow over there.
Right.
So the first day you go excited outside, oh, I'm going to shovel the snow.
Yeah.
It's like a couple foot of snow, a couple feet of snow, and you start shoveling. An hour later, there's 2 more feet.
Right.
And you go, yes, I'm still excited. And you go shovel it.
Right.
And the next day, you go, come on, man. Still more snow.
Yeah, that's hilarious. My mom tells a story. My parents are from South America, Guyana, and she had never seen snow in her life, like in movies, maybe. And when it snowed, and she was living in Ontario when she first immigrated to Canada, she said it scared her to death. She had no idea what was happening. And she said it was one of the most frightening moments ever, just because it was so foreign, right, to her. So yeah, I love to hear about people who immigrate and come from countries with not a lot of snow.
Oh,
Yeah, it's exciting at first, but then, like you said,
Wait, the first time you shovel your driveway on your neighbor's driveway. The
That's
second
right.
time you shovel your driveway
yeah,
only. But the third time you want to just a walkway.
that's right. So now you've been in Fort McMurray for such a long time. Obviously, like it's my favorite thing about people who immigrate here. You're brave. You're way braver than me. Like I can't imagine leaving not my hometown to go to a different country that speaks a different language. So like it all I love to hear immigration stories, but obviously you're brave, you've immigrated here, you could live anywhere because you got that inside. What makes you stay in Fort McMurray?
Fort McMurray has been very good to me, actually, to be honest. And when I moved to Fort McMurray, when you leave your country, your home country, and you come, there's a goal in your life is to make better of your life.
Mm-hmm.
So if I know there is a place, whatever I move to, and happen to be Canada, that gonna give me the what I'm aiming for,
Right.
I should be there. So when I came to Fort McMurray in 2004, I saw a lot of opportunity. I saw why that's where I want to be. If I left my country to be somewhere, I have to be somewhere where I can be successful.
Right.
So, and that's what brought me to Fort McMurray. That's what made me build my roots in Fort McMurray. And now I sponsored all my family and all of them here now in Fort McMurray. I brought my mom and dad, my 2 brothers, and their wife and kids.
That's awesome. That's phenomenal. Good for you, man. And so now that they're here, what do they do? Do they work with you? Do they work out
My
at
brother,
site?
he worked with me.
Okay.
So me and my brother, we work together,
Right.
and we carry the business. The third one, he's the little one, but he's the tallest.
Yeah.
So he worked by himself. He worked a little bit with us, but his interest more. He always liked to be working by himself, and I knew that, but I wanted him to be beside us to
Right.
support each other. So that's what we do. We keep supporting each other. He helps us whenever we're stuck and we need some help. He's there to help us out. And he works it out.
Nice.
And mom and dad just stay with us and enjoy seeing us all enjoy seeing the
Yeah.
grandkids.
Just life. They're enjoying
Yes.
life. Right on. Now, in regards to your organization, how many people roughly, because I know numbers change, how many people you have working with you?
So we got about the main 2 guys is me and my brother.
Right.
And that's what when we do all the installs. When we take in jobs like in construction, then we have people who join us team that we work with.
Right.
Up to 5 to 6 people that we take over a project and we work on.
There you go.
But as long as we were doing appliances installed, I took appliances installed contract actually 2 months before the fire,
Right. Oh, wow.
and I was at the time alone. I did not have my brother,
Yeah.
and trust me, it was not something like I took it as a part time beside my construction that I'm doing.
That's right.
And then the fire happened, and it was devastating. Then when we came back, it would be like 11 o'clock at night. And
Yeah.
I'm at my last install. I still have one more. I call the customer saying, I'm going to push you till next day. He said, no, I'm waiting. So midnight, 1 o'clock in the morning, we're still installing.
Wow.
It was crazy.
Yeah, that is crazy. That's a lot of work. Really
That's a lot
busy,
of work.
especially when you move in appliances and stuff. That's not light work.
After that, the people look at, is it that light? I, if it looks
Never
light,
gets
it's
light.
not light.
That's right.
It
Yeah.
just, I got used to it and
Yeah.
moving it around.
No need for a gym.
Yeah.
No need for a gym. Okay. So now, as an entrepreneur in Fort McMurray, what do you think is the biggest struggle that you run into?
In Fort McMurray, biggest struggle. Well, to be honest, every time had its own struggle.
Hmm.
So I had the struggle first to find workforce,
That's right.
and so that lasted for a long time. And then when you find one, you have to find a reliable one because
Mm.
they either don't stay in Fort McMurray, move back to wherever they came from, Edmonton, Toronto,
Yeah.
or they just moved to take another opportunity, take another job. It was just pick and choose.
Yeah. Turnover of
So
employees is huge.
exactly.
Yeah.
And so that was a challenge first. After that, the challenge was at one point we had a challenge with material as well too. Delivery taking a long time to get it done, and that took us a little bit longer to finish a project.
Mm.
And when you have different projects and something take longer, it delay a lot of stuff.
That's right.
So it's like any struggle with any other business that work in that field or that industry. Nothing special.
Right.
But we deal with it.
You deal with it. Yeah. Awesome. Yeah. You got to be a problem solver when you own your own business.
But you know what? The customers here,
Yeah.
they all understand. They all appreciate. It's rare to see somebody who complain about this side because they knew what kind of where we in Fort McMurray, sometimes stuff get delayed, sometimes stuff that's not available all the time, maybe not a lot of variety, but they always believed and they always helped and supported us actually.
There you go. Cool. Now we're at part of the show. This is Tanner's segment called the Mac City Minute. He's going to ask you some questions. I have no idea what he's going to ask you, so best of luck to you.
Okay.
Tanner, hit him with the Mac City Minute.
Question number 1. What is your most interesting story from doing so many installations?
Interesting story is doing installations. Well, if we're talking about, let me see, remember now a dishwasher install.
Dishwasher install. Okay. Are they challenging to put a dishwasher in?
Actually, it's not a challenge, but sometimes the way how the house is plumbed or electrical. So we went inside to take out the dishwasher, and there's the water lines and the drains and everything goes inside the floor, and it's supposed to be connected to the sink. So I said, okay, we go in the basement. Maybe it's connection in the basement. So we went in the basement. We tracked the lines. Like I think 10 feet. Like when where the dishwasher installed, and by the time you reach where the source of the water and the drain,
Mm-hmm.
we had to remove 6 drop ceiling tiles or 7 of them.
Wow.
They vary from one side to another side. It was so far, and I don't know how that dishwasher was working. I don't know if it was draining properly or had enough water. Yeah, so we had to replumb everything to the right place. But the owner, when he kept seeing us removing ceiling tile, he said, "Really? Are you just changing dishwasher? Or are you changing my ceiling?"
Right. That's funny.
Question number 2. What is the most interesting piece of furniture you've had to move?
You know, the recliners is always a challenge because they come in pieces, but they're not light. They are very heavy, and sometimes as you move in it, if it's not wrapped properly, it will recline.
Oh, no
So
doubt.
when it recline, you have to be careful. You're not beside the wall.
That's right.
Yeah.
Question number 3. What is one local food establishment you go to that you think is underrated?
Oh, I love the food questions.
Oh man, you're asking somebody who loves to bake and cook. So I tried whatever there is a new restaurant, whatever there is something that has high rated, I go try it. I travel to try food actually, so so that's something I enjoy. In Fort McMurray, what's the establishment food that I think it's underrated? Um, well, have you tried? Um, there was, I don't know when they're gonna open back again. The Cedar Bakery.
Cedars Bakery.
Cedars Bakery,
They
yeah.
had they had a very nice cheese pies, and they have shawarma sandwiches. They were like it was really good. It was
Okay.
something I like to have either for breakfast for the pie or
Mhm.
the shawarma sandwiches for the lunchtime. After the flood, they were still working on. I know they have a branch in Timberley, but the one in downtown was a unique one.
Okay. All right.
Completely
Downtown
unique.
Cedars. Gonna have to check them out, Tanner.
Yeah.
Question number 4. What is your fondest memory of living in my childhood home?
Hmm. My childhood home.
No, my childhood home.
What, do you mean Fort McMurray or do you mean in your residence?
No, I mean, he purchased the house I grew up in as a child.
No way.
Yeah,
Okay.
that was something else. Like I was actually installing a dishwasher, and we were talking, me and the owners of the house.
My mother.
Yes, and I told her, I said, I'm not too far from you. I'm your neighbor. She said, really? Where do you live? I said, 68 Centennial Drive. And she said, oh my God, that's our house.
Yeah.
I said, what? Really? I said, yes. So we start talking about the house. They told me about stuff about the garage and we talked about the structure of the house, the new stuff that was done. It was very interesting actually. It was a coincidence that actually we start talking about it for like the next 15, 20 minutes, just talking about the house and history, and it was fun.
That's amazing.
Living in that house, man. I actually, there's a few things they told me about the structure. I went and checked it myself after that to see how, like the garage floor heating. They said it was working fine, and because now we don't have a garage floor heating, we have a garage heater. So I went to check to see if it's still working because I want to put it back to life if that's the case.
Yeah. That's cool. Good question, Tanner.
And your final question, was your favorite part of seeing your family move to Canada that you got to experience when you first got here?
Well, you know what? When we got together here, it was 2018. 2009 was the last time I saw them, and so it was about 9 years
Yeah.
that I did not see any of them. So it was a very, very beautiful moment to see them. My brother, however, when he came here, he had to go from Syria to Saudi Arabia because the war status. Plus, he came in January, and it was a plus 27 when he left Saudi Arabia, minus 27 when he arrived to Fort McMurray.
Ouch.
So it was really fun to see his reaction when I told him it's cold outside. He said, yeah, yeah. And he's wearing like a summer jacket. I told him it's cold, it's minus 26. Okay, okay. So he went outside, he said, it's cold. I said, yeah, that's what I meant.
That's hilarious.
And those have been your 5 questions.
Yeah, I remember it's a funny memory that I have from a child. My uncle was visiting from South America. And the thing about our winters is it looks beautiful. The sun is out.
Yeah.
And I remember my mom saying, hey, Andrew, can you please go take out the garbage? He looks out the window and it looks like the most warm summer day ever. He's wearing shorts and a t-shirt. And my mom says, you need to put on some winter gear. He's like, no, I'm just going from the door to the end of the driveway to take out the garbage. I'll be fine. And I remember him just getting out of the house and just like it hitting him. You see the shock on his face, him trying to make it to the garbage can, and then halfway just like putting the garbage down, coming back in the house, and be like, "Yeah, I need to put on some clothes. I couldn't make it." Yeah, people don't recognize when you say cold. Like
It's cold.
It's cold. That's exactly it. Okay, so you live in Tanner's childhood home. Isn't that an interesting coincidence?
It is interesting.
Wow. So that's how you guys actually met in regards to you were doing a dishwasher install.
That's right.
Tanner started talking to you and invited you on the show.
Hmm.
So, wow. How do you have you always lived downtown Fort McMurray?
No, actually, I lived in different area in Fort McMurray. I lived in Absent,
Okay.
and then I sold the house. And it would be funny. That's the day that I handled the key, or I was supposed to handle the key, was the fire day. So I left the day after fire from that house.
Oh.
And I was supposed to give the keys, but nobody showed up, and then
Right.
we got evacuated.
Right.
And then I lived in Thickwood area,
Okay.
and when the family came, I rented. I have a townhouse in Thickwood, so I rented my townhouse, and I went to the place in downtown, and so it can fit all of us.
That's
'Cause we were
nice.
11 people living in the house first.
Yeah. Yeah.
Now we're about 8. My brother and his wife and kid moved to somewhere else.
Right.
Moved to Abasant, so now we're 8 in the house. But
Nice. It's nice to have family around,
it's very nice. Yeah.
especially during COVID. Listen, I would love to be able to talk to 8 people. I love it.
Yeah, every evening it's like a party.
Yeah, that's it. That's awesome. No, I've been lucky. I grew up in Abisan, and then when I was 5, we moved to Dickinsfield, in Thickwood area. My parents still live in there, but yeah, as an adult, I've lived in Thickwood, around Simcoe Way, and in Beacon Hill. I loved living in Beacon Hill, and now I live in Timberley, which I like Timberley, but I find like the areas that you're talking about, especially like the downtown, you have a better sense of community.
Yes.
Like you really get to know like who your neighbor is, you know who your neighbor's neighbor is. I find where I live in Timberley, although I know some of my neighbors, it's not the same. It's not the same.
You know, I agree. See, I installed dishwasher all over the town, and one of the most. Every time I'm installing dishwasher, especially in the downtown area, people have been in downtown for a long time.
Mm-hmm.
So they are very sociable. Like they talk, like
Yeah,
Tanner's
like Tanner.
families.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
They talk, and it's fun to install. You don't feel the time. You don't like even if it's
You get invited for dinner.
That's good. That's what I was working on.
Yeah.
So they, sometimes dishwasher take about an hour to install, but when you're talking, it takes more, and you don't feel the time. You enjoy it.
That's
When
right.
You leave. You don't feel like you went for work. You feel like you went for a visit.
That's
You
right.
talk to somebody, and you left. So
Yeah.
it's a lot of fun. And different side of town. I'm not saying that they're not social. Of course, they talk, but it's mostly the people who's been here for a long time. They and they talk to you, and they see where you came from, how long you've been in. And that's why you get to talk to more people.
That's right. That's right. Very cool. My man, we're at the end of our time. 20 minutes flies, right?
Flies, yeah.
Flies. So thank you very much for coming today. I really do appreciate it. This was a pleasure. I love meeting new people. You've just been awesome to chat with. But before we cut you loose today, I want you to give your organization a shout out. So please tell the people at home one more time who you are, what's your company, how they can get in contact and support your organization.
My name is Louay. That's the easiest way to remember it. And my company called Glory Contracting Ltd. You can call us anytime at 780-880-2224. We do all appliances install. We do full renovation, and we do also gym equipment assembly. If you have any maintenance work, give us a call. We can always be happy to give you a free estimate. And if you like it, you go for it. And if you don't, I'll make sure we'll find a way to make you happy.
There we go. Sweet. Awesome. Well, on that note, Fort McMurray, Wood Buffalo, and the rest of the world, thank you very much for tuning in. Once again, this is the Mac City Morning Show. I am your host, Elliot Pierre. And yeah, thanks for taking the time and spending with us. On that note, have a great day. We'll see you tomorrow. Peace.
I said this. That's another Mac City Morning Show done.
It's so ballistic!
Talk about quenching your ugly thirst.